Thank you.
Here are the latest headlines now. 2 hours ago, Nancy Pelosi came out right off a sorry.
Representative Collins, the reason I
we don't hate anybody, not anybody in the world.
Lashed him.
Accuse me.
I did not accuse you.
You did.
I asked the question.
You did. And
Representative Collins yesterday suggested that the Democrats are doing this simply because they don't like the
I
guy.
had nothing to do with it. Let me just say this.
I think it's important.
I think the president is a coward when it comes to helping our kids who are afraid of gun violence. I think he is cruel when he doesn't deal with helping our dreamers, of which we're very proud. I think he's in denial about the climate crisis. However, that's about the election. This is about the election. Take it up in the election. This is about the Constitution of the United States and the facts that lead to the president's violation of his oath of office. And as a Catholic, I resent your using the word hate in a sentence that addresses me. I don't hate anyone. I was raised in a way that is a heart full of love, and always prayed for the president. And I still pray for the president. I pray for the president all the time. So don't mess with me when it comes to words like that.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about what you just saw, which was Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi getting triggered at a question from a reporter after her press conference in which she asked the House to push forward on articles of impeachment. Now, there's a whole lot to quote unquote unpack here, as the cool kids would say. But first, let's back up a little bit to give some context as to what's happening and to explain where we go from here. Now, during this quote-unquote press conference, Pelosi was talking about what Trump has done and, abusing power, all this, that, and third. Quite frankly, it was really hard to follow what she was saying because I don't know if she's drinking, drugging, or just kind of getting up there in age, or she just naturally speaks this way, but it was a whole lot of stuttering and stammering going on. I'm not going to say she's an alcoholic, but if she's had a few drinks this morning, I would not be surprised. But for now, I digress. The whole point is that she was laying her case as to why Donald Trump should be impeached. Now, where do we go from here? She directed the House to draft articles of impeachment and to push forward on it. Once they draft articles of impeachment, the House must vote on it with a simple majority that would get Trump impeached. All that means is there's going to be a trial to see if he'll be removed from office. If you have 20 Republican senators and all the Democrats that say, okay, Trump is to be removed from office, then he's removed. I doubt that it will actually happen. Matter of fact, I could pretty much bet every dollar to my name that it won't happen as far as him being removed from office, because you should not have one Republican to vote for the impeachment inquiry. So if you had nobody that voted to see if Trump was going to go through the impeachment process, why would you have any of the Republicans that say we're going to vote to actually convict him on the charges in which I'm not really sure what they're going to be? Obstruction of justice, real ticky-tack stuff. If you were to convict Donald Trump on what they say, oh, he went to Ukraine or talked to the Ukrainian president trying to get quote unquote dirt on Joe Biden, if they want to convict him on that, they got to convict everybody in Washington, D.C. Okay. This whole thing won't go anywhere beyond the House. They'll say, okay, we impeached him, success, but they won't be success because the impeachment will not be successful. All this is right now is to make Donald Trump look bad. And no, they don't have anybody over there on their side, the Democrats that is, to try and beat Trump fair and square. And let's bring it back to what she was talking about with the reporter. She was saying, oh, I don't hate the president. If he's going to be in office or what, let the voters decide that. Okay, maybe you don't hate him, maybe you do, but I can't tell which one is it, because if you don't hate him, you're not showing it very well. You're not showing your love for the president very well. You're not showing your thoughtful and sober and prayerful consideration into whether the president should be impeached or whatever it is. You're not showing that you pray for the president every day based on your actions at this press conference this morning. Okay. This whole thing with the impeachment reminds me of a scene from Casino. Maybe you've seen that movie, maybe you haven't. But to give you a little bit of a brief story, you got a bunch of Italian mobsters from New York that go out to Las Vegas and they're out there robbing, basically. They start a casino, or they come into a casino with the purpose of robbing it, just organized crime through the casino. Now, when the top guy, played by Robert De Niro, Sam Rothstein, when he goes out there, he's concerned. He does not have a license to run the casino. And his friend is out there, is like, hey, man, it's no problem. Just go ahead and put your name in there and apply for it. You'll be okay. Long story short, they go through this whole process. They're out there robbing. And he angers some of the people that are in the town, some of the local people that run the courts, that run everything in the place. From a legal perspective, Sam eventually goes to court and try and get his license that had been in the bottom of a pile for a year or more. And he's there with his lawyer. He has his papers. He's ready to fight the case and get his license if there is a case to fight. The people on the stand, the county commissioner, mayor, whatever, they open their books up and close them right away. License denied. And of course, Sam Rothstein is mad. He's like, hey, you guys not giving me a fair trial. What's going on here? But they had to tell him, hey, that's how things work in Las Vegas. We do whatever we want. It's kind of the same thing happening right here, except for the fact that Trump has committed no crime. These guys from the mob, they're actually committing crime. Okay. But Trump has committed no crime. DC is full of criminals, Trump not being one of them. If you want to try to convict Trump on the thing, you got to look at the entire Washington, D.C. and see what's happening right there. But you don't want to do that, Nancy Pelosi. You don't want to do that, Chuck Schumer, Adam Schiff, and the whole squad. You don't want to do that because you guys are involved with it as well. Joe Biden, you don't want to talk about that. Hunter Biden, you don't want to talk about that. You know, Joe and Hunter getting millions, if not billions from overseas, and China, Ukraine, etc. It's hilarious how you have all these so-called star witnesses who go on the stand and try to, quote unquote, expose Trump. But when they do that, they just expose themselves more. Okay. Oh, he went over to Ukraine and tried to bribe this, that, and the third. And here comes Hunter Biden working on a board randomly, getting paid between 50 and 80 grand per month to do nothing because his name is Hunter Biden, son of Joe Biden. While Joe Biden was the vice president, Joe Biden goes over there and says, hey, I know you guys looking into the company that my son works for, getting paid all that money, but guess what? You're going to fire that person looking into my son's company. And if you don't do that, then, hey, you won't get this military money aid or whatever it is from the United States. Now, of course, that was not his exact words, but it might as well have been. He said, fire the prosecutor or you won't get this money on television. And if I could find that footage of him saying that, I'll link to that in the box. Democrats totally ignore that. Adam Schiff totally ignore that. They won't bring any star witnesses on the Democratic side that will talk about that particular point. They'll bring up people that want to attack Trump's child, Barron Trump, talking about, oh, well, just because you name him Barron, that doesn't mean you can make him one. What does that got to do with the actual impeachment? What does that got to do with Russia, with Ukraine, with collusion, with improper phone calls? You see, these people are just anti-Trump haters of the American people, apparently, because you had about, 65 million people that said we want Trump to be our president, and they're trying to overturn that election. This whole thing is a sham. It's a kangaroo court. They knew what they were going to do from the beginning. Pelosi was talking about, oh, we're going to have some sober and thoughtful and prayerful consideration to see if we're going to impeach the president. But one day after the hearing closes, impeach. Okay, now how long did you think about that before you did it? I believe the decision was already made from the very beginning. Like I said, with Casino, you go through this whole process, you go into court, putting your suit on, you're bringing your lawyer, you got all your paperwork. They open the books and close them in 5 seconds because the decision was already made. This whole thing is just pomp and circumstance. It's a dog and pony show. It's not necessary for them to even do, but you got to put on some semblance of being a legitimate government rather than being some kind of banana republic. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Nancy Pelosi was genuine about being sober and prayerful and thoughtful about her consideration into impeaching the president. If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or was she not sincere? Are any of them on that particular side of the aisle on the left sincere? How about Adam Schiff? How about all these dishonest people over there? Will they be successful? Like I said, you did not have one Republican that voted for the inquiry. In order to get him removed from office, you got to have 20 Republicans and all Democrats. Let's not forget that, because there could be some Democrats that don't vote party line. Okay, you got to have all Democrats and 20 Republicans that vote to convict the president and get him out of office. If you did not have one Republican that voted for the inquiry, I think it might have been one or two that did not vote for the inquiry on the Democratic side, how are you going to get 20 Republicans to vote to remove him? It doesn't make any sense. Nothing new was revealed in the hearing. It was just people talking about their resume and how they feel, all this, that, and the third. There was no new information revealed. Everything was in the actual transcript. Everything you need to know was right there. So nothing new was revealed. No more information is going to come out. This is a sham to make Donald Trump look bad, because they don't have anybody that's going to be able to successfully defeat him in the race in 2020 if things are fair and square. That's why they don't want to have voter ID, because they want to engage in some kind of voter fraud. That's why they want to try to impeach him, because it makes him look bad. That's all that they have. Dirty tricks, not honest, fair and square dealing as far as an election is concerned. Do we live in a republic or a banana republic? I can't tell anymore. But I'm going to keep voting for Trump and people like him so we don't become what they apparently want us to be over here in the US of A. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.